Hey y'all, it's Renegade, and it's once again time to spill Reali-Tea, and this time we're making a splash to celebrate season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race. But before we get too far into the deep end, I can't do this alone, and with us tonight, our resident Drag Race expertise, the one and only married mother herself, QuackrrJack. Jack, how are you doing tonight, and how crazy is it that we are literally 17 seasons deep into the US franchise now?
Let me tell you, when I heard that 17 was revealed, I said to myself, H2O, my God, I cannot believe. Once again, we're going to get another H2O. If anyone was watching Thailand, we're getting another H2O runway. And I'm excited. The girls are bringing it in the looks category. Well, I'll, quite a few of them are. Let me not say everyone because you know, I know, everyone out there knows that some of the looks did not pass the test. But, you can never go off of a first impression on the promo Meet the Queens because the season can be very wildly different. So, I'm excited.
I'm very excited for this cast. Obviously, they were announced a few weeks ago with a trailer being dropped just a few days ago. So, we're going to give our quick takes on the season's cast based on their Meet the Queen videos, snap and slap some of their promo looks, and make some bold predictions on who we think will be our final four. And yes, I said predictions. Whoever that turd that said that we were reading spoilers was girl. Like, we don't have time for that. Like, we can't.
I put
Um,
the first three boots in my top four last time, unfortunately. Well,
We
not
were
the first
reading
three, but almost.
spoilers. We were reading the spoilers. I mean, I think I just got lucky. As far like I think Marmalade was a lucky guess based on the fact that like her drag family was important to the franchise. But let's be real,
And
Dita
she's a
let us all
skinny white
down.
girl.
Dita let us all down. I can't
Justice for Kiki Snatch.
with that. No, we're not gonna do that again, Jack. You're not gonna get everybody in the comments hating us for putting Kiki high in the ratings now, okay?
Everyone needs to know that Saki deserves to come back. Bring her back. Bring back my
Oh,
girls.
I totally agree. But before we bring back any more girls here and talk about our new girls, y'all, make sure you like and subscribe for more future content. And we definitely have loads of content heading your way with our Canada's Drag Race 5 podcast currently airing, which we'll link below here, as well as so much more coming along with this new season in the new year. But first off, Jack, again, you kind of already jumped into the theme here, the H2O my God. What a step up again this wet theme is from last season's whatever that military garbage was. Like this is just such a stunning visual. It makes me very excited for kind of fashions that we're gonna get this season because I think, like you said here, every girl bring or brought it this season. Like I don't, but except for maybe like one or two. But for the most part, on the whole, like this is definitely one of the stronger promos that I think we've seen. So it's just a very simple concept, and we've seen the wet theme far a lot this season, but we've seen a lot of kind of. I think the franchises, for whatever reason, might be using the same themes for like the same year because we definitely have seen like a lot of like wet looks, a lot of flowy looks, like slow mo fabric looks and whatnot. But um, who knows? This might just be where we're kind of going in the future with the seasons with so many franchises. But uh, you know, let's go ahead before we talk about these queens, though, Jack. I want to discuss this trailer because they made it clear that this was going to be the most twisted season yet. And we learned that Raid Queen is back here for the talent show premiere, which has been confirmed. So this is the first time in what, two seasons that we're getting an unsplit premiere here. And we kind of already know how the Raid Queen twist works, but Rue is promising a completely different twist to it. Do you have any idea what that different twist might be?
I'm thinking maybe you kind of have to pick the girls to some extent in the correct order, or maybe like you can only rate like the top half of girls for the win and the bottom half of girls for the loss kind of thing. I'm not really sure what they're gonna do. I think there's gonna be if we're having everyone together, there's just way too many queens for everyone to rate 13 other girls. So I just don't see a 1 through 13 thing. Now I could be completely wrong. Um, but if it were my like first couple days in that workroom, bitch, I wouldn't remember anyone's names. I'd be like, girl, I don't even remember who she is. So I don't
Well,
know if
didn't
we're gonna
last
do
season they did 15 girls because they do the design challenge and then everybody. had to rake each other after that.
See,
I feel
that's
like
that shit
that's
I'm
what
talking
happened,
about though.
right?
That was
So,
that was like a little afterwards, but like the first day I would be like, I don't even know who you are. Like I don't even remember what you did. Like half the time I'm watching the episode, I don't remember what Queen did. Like
oh,
so
seriously. Especially yeah, with so many different franchises going on, it's just been so hard to keep track of people for so many weeks for so long. Might be a little bit easier just because I mean, we have three franchises ending this week, which is nice. So hopefully
well
we'll.
I
Oh,
mean I just meant the fact that, some of the girls are forgetful in their talent show. I'm like, oh, I fell asleep, girl. I don't remember what you did.
oop.
I remember seeing someone do like a kick and step ball change or something. I don't know. You were boring. Next, like, did you jump off the Aja box? Did I jump off the Aja box? Did she jump off the Aja box? Like, I don't know. Like, you better have jumped off the Aja box at least.
I
And
hope
some of these
so.
girls are
I
like,
think
and
so.
I'm
Flip
doing
onto the
my
Asha
own song
box.
again. Flip on it. Come on, Kennedy. But
I'm
like,
fully expecting so many of these girls to do original numbers. I'm not really that excited for it, honestly.
they need to outlaw some of that shit. Someone needs to go through and be like, okay, with your audition tape, we need to see the talent that you plan on bringing, so we can make sure that not everyone's just trying to bring a goddamn song.
And can we just say as well too, please, if they're gonna do Rate a Queen, release the actual ratings. Like, don't just have them rank and then not actually like show us what's happening. Tell Nymphia that she was sabotaged by playing Jane. Okay, I want to see drama.
Now, I want that shit to not be revealed because I like when people play the game like that. Shout out to Miss Plain for actually playing the game. That was smart, and I love that for her.
I never said it wasn't smart, but I want to see the outcome. I want to see it.
I
um,
mean, I want to see who voted what, but I don't want them to know until after the show.
okay. Well, one thing I will say though that I'm kind of very excited to see how it turns out as well too is the main gimmick for this season here, which is this badonka dunking of Michelle. That's gonna get really old to say it very quickly. The badonka dunking. Okay, just gonna have to say that for our warm up every single time for the podcast now. Um, so it seems like it's probably going to be some sort of way to probably get back into the competition. It doesn't seem like to me that it's going to have any effect maybe on the premiere. This seems more than likely probably like something they're going to do maybe like mid-season, something that they're going to maybe keep teasing throughout the show because the two things that we kind of get from the promo, at least that I was kind of looking at when I was dissecting it, is we get a few different shots of them kind of announcing situations, and we get one shot where all the girls are wearing white. And I think in that shot there, especially, it was like Lucky Stars, Arrietty, Crystal, Envy, and Kori. And then it pans to Lana Ja'Rae, or I'm gonna get all these names wrong. I'm just gonna call them by their first name. Lana in orange, and then we see like another mystery queen in red right next to her who they kind of just do like a quick flash on. And I had to like pause it really quickly to see what it was. And it turns out it was Arrietty again in red. Because we see like these trademark black squiggles that she kind of has in her makeup from her Instagram. So instantly I'm like, okay, clearly these are happening at two very different times. But they're trying to make it seem like the girls in white are, safe girls and the girls who are wearing like the monochromatic looks are up for elimination, which is already impossible because Ariadne can't be in two places at once. Um, and there's also a couple of shots here too where we see the Rate Twist voting, and we see Ariadne voting in white during that same outfit that she's in the other picture that they showed where Kori was in white. But then Kori is seen voting again, and she's voting in black. So clearly they're doing Rate Queen twice at some point here. Um, I don't really kind of know how they're planning on handling it, to be honest. But it definitely seems like it could maybe be an early season twist thing. Maybe they do like an elimination of like the first three, four girls, and like maybe episode five they bring someone back. Uh, I don't know. Who knows? It also could be like a golden candy bar thing where maybe Michelle is just stuck on the judging panel from the dunking booth. And whenever she decides that she's so impressed and wants to dunk herself, and whoever falls back in, like that's who comes back. Who knows? Like we didn't see any shots of Michelle actually being in the judging panel. So, um, I'm honestly just very, very intrigued because clearly they're not going to just pull like a season three here and just have them throw balls at her to get back, right? Like Alexis Mateo is not about to come back here. Um,
Well,
Jack, do you have
never
any
say
kind of thoughts
never.
here?
Oh gosh. I just really hope we're not getting this whole like first bitch to actually throw a good shot goes because I'll be like, girl, I don't want anyone to stay just because they have a good like pitching arm or something. Like, and I hope we don't bring back someone who's just gonna go home the next episode because that's God, that's one of the biggest downfalls. And I really hope we don't have a setup for an automatic like we gave the bar to Bosco so we could make it really dramatic moment. Like if we're gonna do a twist, I really want it to be like random or at the very least if it's gonna be like Michelle's deciding who's come back, she'll wait to see like a girl who really impresses her. I don't think that everything she's done in Down Under has been like perfect, but she's been a great judge so far. So I would definitely be okay with giving her that power.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's like a maybe judges save type deal. Who knows? I don't really know 'cause it literally it can't just be them chucking balls. It can't. It cannot. I refuse. I think the other thing that kind of really stood out here, just really quickly here before we actually get into this group here, is the fact that they actually lowered the cast size to 14. Like this is the first time since I think what season 14 actually. But this group has a lot of personality. It feels like there's a lot of just Southern representation in general, which I don't think we've seen a lot of on the show, which I think has a very interesting potential to bring an interesting dynamic here. Like we've kind of seen how they like to cast like big groups of or certain girls from like certain groups, like the New York girls season 8. Then you see like the Connecticut girls in 15. Like they definitely like to kind of pull people with kind of storylines already. So I fully expect to see one or two of these Southern girls being probably someone that they're probably trying to set up to go pretty far here. But my biggest pet peeve during this Meet the Queens is why did literally every single queen, except for one, who was the one queen that called them all out for doing this, was saying that people always think that they're a bitch in their first impression. Did you notice that? Because I was like, okay, let me guess. Your first impression is everybody thinks you're a bitch when they first meet you. Then they said that. I'm like, even Hormona Lisa said that. It's just like, are these people all really bitches? Or do we think they're all just playing that kind of stereotype?
I don't think they're all bitches. I think what's more likely than not is that we see girls okay, so we see drag queens who go out to a club. Drag queens are kind of like a speaker in the community. They're kind of like a voice for the community. So they're very more likely to be like loud and over the top, and so people may perceive it that way, or maybe especially with a lot of them being hosts or like people who are generally kind of involved in the booking and stuff, they have to make those decisions. People just don't necessarily like them. I think it's just one or two bad interactions here or there. It starts to become a personality thing because not everyone can be the bitch or a bitch. Like some people say that and then they're like literally voted miscongeniality. Like it's crazy. So I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think everyone's going to be bitchy. I think they just have this idea and that's
Playing it up for
all.
the cameras, right? Probably a little bit, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I totally get it. No hate, no hate, because I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Well, one thing I definitely could not hate Jack was Nymphia Wynn's crowning look that she came back in here for this promo. What do you think of it? I was literally just like, oh my god, all the Shea Coulee teas that I need.
Oh my god, I was in love with this. I was like, holy shit, this is beautiful. This is like what I need in my life. I thought, the way it was wrapped around her body, there was like one or two things I would have changed, just slight, like very, very, very slight adjustment, but it didn't need it, kind of thing, right? Like it was just so good. And I was so excited for her to come back because, sometimes we don't see a reigning queen come back and like really start to look. But Nymphia really was like, I'm here. I'm gonna show you why I won. And I was like, all right, go off. Like, go off, queen.
she kind of really didn't go like yellow. Like it was really just like it was kind of more a skin tone. But like I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, girl, like serve, bitch. Oh my
We
God, I
see
can't
each
wait for
other.
her in the reunion and to see what she comes back in her final reunion look. It's gonna be so good. I could already tell. Ah, but you know what, Jack? You know what? She's old news now, though. And I think we just need to move on
Oh,
here to introducing our 14 new queens, ready to snatch that crown, Mamaru. Yes, God. And let's go ahead and talk to them or talk about them one by one. So let's start in alphabetical order here with Acacia Forgot. She's 28 years old from Los Angeles, California, and from what I gathered here from the Meet the Queens video, apparently she's extremely forgetful and likes to put gum in her nose. Um, outside that, though, too, it looks like she's going to be probably a live musician type. Um, more probably more artistic when it comes to that. Definitely a lot more giving me a lot more like Trixie Mattel kind of vibes when it comes to that. Like the folk kind of genre type deal. She says she plays like every instrument under the sun, and is very inspired by Dolly Parton, which you definitely can see from a lot of her look here. And it's kind of funny because she's pretty much like a southern inspired country queen that's coming from LA. So I think that's kind of already a very interesting dynamic as well too, because it feels like, like while country music is, it's big everywhere, um, the country music scene in LA and Southern California, being here is definitely not like the typical, I would say, Southern scene. So it's very, I mean, obviously inspired by more um, Southern California vibes when it comes to it. It's a little bit more not pure country, I would say. So I have a feeling she's going to be pretty versatile in a lot of ways. Like she kind of gives me someone that could probably, you know, do her country thing, but also probably, work around like a hip hop number if possible. She definitely has a good sense of style as far as I'm concerned. I love her promo look. Definitely one of my favorites here. I don't know if I liked it as much when I saw it maybe visually like on the runway, but like in the still photo, it is amazing is gorgeous. My only pet peeve kind of on it though is I don't really like the hip area. The hip area seems just kind of a little big, but like it just something weird, kind of like how the shaping goes. But other than that, I really am very kind of excited to see what Acacia is gonna bring here. Jack, what are your thoughts here?
so I was very, very, very excited for what she was bringing here. One of the things I thought was so interesting was actually the wig selection. Really felt like it was. It might not have felt like it fit at first, but the colors are beautiful. This whole white with the blue swirl, and the fact that it's a very big like updo. It really presents itself from like it presents like a very over the top drag queen look, which we love, obviously. We want to see things bigger. And it doesn't get in the way of her outfit that I love. And I actually feel like her hips are completely fine because her shoulders are so big. It's really got this huge, like, kind of hourglass frame to it in a way because we've got like so big on the top, so big on the bottom, and like it makes her midsection look so small. It's just really fun. I think all these little details, all these different like fabrics choices and colors, it's really all working for me. Her personality was so different than what I thought based on just the runway. And like you mentioned, she's extremely country, which I wasn't expecting at all. And I think your comparison to Trixie is pretty spot on. I also kind of I don't know why, but in the face and the hair, I was almost like giving me flashbacks to like uh Alexis Michelle, and I was like, I could see her doing kind of that well. Like I could see her getting almost to the end or maybe all the way to the end. Like I could really see her going far in this competition, and I'm excited for her. She's one of my I would say she's I wouldn't say she's my favorite, but she's definitely close to one of my favorites based on that promo looks and the Meet the Queens. I mean, she was my favorite promo look. I will say that. I know I'm gonna get probably some backlash for that, but I just think it's beautiful and there's so much to look at everywhere. Yet I don't feel like I'm like hurting by looking at it.
I don't think you'll get that much backlash for it. This is a great look. This is definitely top three, top four for me, absolutely for sure. So, honestly, very strong contender to start us off with here with Acacia, and very kind of um excited to see where she goes. I think you're right with that Alexis Michelle comparison too. Actually, as soon as you started saying there was another queen, I was like, oh my god, she does look like Alexis. And I'm like, okay, I could definitely see it. I could see her definitely being a strong half contenders. But honestly, there's like 10 of these girls that I'm kind of looking at right off the bat. There's only like maybe three or four that I'm kind of like, I don't know about your chances. Casey is not one of them though. One queen that I am kind of a little question marked on though, just because her Meet the Queen was all over the place, and that is Arrietty, who's 28 from Seattle, Washington, and she loves to draw, loves cartoons and anime, and that's pretty clear from her drag style here. She is the drag child of Irene Dubois from season 15, so we can't forget the alienness runs in her body. Apparently, she definitely has the fashion I thought that Irene had, even though Irene wasn't on for very long. Hopefully, Ariadne can change that. She does say that she is a little bit of a loner and a little bit of an artsy airhead, which you definitely can tell because she's kind of like talking all over the place, and there's something about just the way she's speaking. I don't know if you were catching this, Jack, but as um, I'm not sure if you know here too, but for our listeners, I think it's pretty clear that they do film these Meet the Queens after the season is already filmed. So sometimes they'll drop like Easter eggs here and there, sometimes of what is happening. And for some reason, she was just giving me like she was already had lost the competition. Like there's just certain ways the way she was framing, like, oh, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Or like it just feels like maybe she gets into a big fight with someone at some point, and then like maybe go home in like the first like two, three episodes, like maybe like in a mandatory meeting type storyline. I don't know. Like I want to believe in Arrietty because she definitely gives me so much creativity from her promo look. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite out of all of them. I think I'd have her somewhere mid tier, just because there's a lot going on, and I'm not entirely sure what the concept is 100%. So, but it is gorgeous, whatever it is. I just think I got a little bit more clear concepts from other people than I did from Arrietty. So, um, initially, someone I'm kind of excited to see what she brings. Hopefully, she'll prove me wrong, but someone I think that could be maybe a little bit an early in trouble here. Just the being a loner, being the airhead. I'm a little worried for the girl. Um, do you have the same fears here for Arrietty, or are you picking up on something different here, Jack?
Oh, 100% agree. I think she's definitely someone who may be going home early. I could see her being kind of like a Rock'em Sakura or like a Dusty Ray Bottoms, where they're like talented queen just falls in the bottom once and then it's just completely over for them. Even though, with one of those two, there was definitely a controversial placement of people that episode, but I won't get into that now. But something about this look I really dislike. I really enjoy a lot of it though, but something I really have to talk about are these goddamn like pantyhose or if it's like a bodysuit or whatever it is, but the blue underneath kind of thing, the tights and like the arms coming out of the sleeves, like I would have preferred it just to be black or something. Like, I don't know, this color of blue is not working for me. And maybe it's the fabric itself. But it looks very it looks very like dance studio ugly tights. And I'm not feeling it at all. I'm like, can we get rid of it, please? Like, is there anyone like is there a janitor that I can call to clean this up? Please. I'm having a really hard time. And
Yeah.
it's not to be rude. It's just, there are better ways to present. Well, the outfit is great. Is it H2O for me? Not really. Did I think her makeup worked for this H2O thing? No, and that's something I'm worried about her and why I brought up like Rockham and Dusty. I think that I get that vibe and I kind of get the Dawn-esque vibe off of her. And I just see this like possibly being like an immovable like object almost in her life. Like I have to do my makeup really crazy kind of thing. And I'm not there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that like, art is subjective, blah blah blah, whatever. But like this just wasn't hitting for me. She was right in the middle, kind of forgettable to me. And I feel like she might have the same kind of effect on me in the competition. And you know what? She's a young queen too. So there's a lot of room for growth. Like it's not just an automatic like she's done, she's over, like nothing will happen. Anything could change, anything could happen in her life.
Yeah, you never know. People tend to learn a lot from their stint on Drag Race as well here too. So, and I mean, just because you're a first boot, second boot, whatever, it doesn't really mean you can't go on to be successful. So, well, prove us wrong, Arrietty. We are ready. We are ready. But now that's our second queen here. Let's talk about our third queen here. Another drag daughter of another former queen here. We have Crystal Envy, 27 from Asbury Park, New Jersey. I initially thought that she was Scarlet Envy's drag daughter, but no, she's actually the drag daughter of Jasmine Kennedy from season 14. She started doing drag at 13 years old, and she says she's basically a big kid who likes shiny things. She wants to prove that New Jersey queens are just as good as New York queens, being that they constantly get overlooked considering they're pretty close to each other here. So she says she's a pageant winner and a makeup artist, and even though she has resting bitch face, she's there for the sisterhood and wants to prove that she's not just a look queen. And honestly, I know we kind of had a difference of opinion here, Jack, but Crystal is by far one of my favorite promo looks out of all of them. I think she just went in a very different direction with the materials that she chose for this outfit, and it looks so cool, especially in the still photos. Oh my god, like it I literally speechless. Just probably one of the prettiest pictures out of all of them. Not my favorite look out of all of them. Because I could kind of see why, because why you might not like it as much because it is to some degree just a bodice, body. So corset, but I still think she accessorized it well. The makeup is amazing. She is beat as fuck. And she really gives me someone that's going to be a huge competitor in this competition. Um, I kind of felt that way initially about Jasmine, so I'm a little worried to go all in on Crystal. So I don't have her in my top four. She's actually my fifth place person that I have at this moment. But I would not be surprised to see Crystal sitting there on finale night 'cause she seems like a jack of all trades. Um, and if she's able to let go as much as she says she is, because honestly, she does seem a little more controlled for someone who says that they're a big kid. So. Um, that does worry me a little bit, but she looked like she was ready to kind of make fun of herself too. She didn't seem s- too hung up on herself. So I'm very kind of excited to see what Crystal brings this season. What are your thoughts here on Miss Crystal Envy?
You know, it was like a first time, like I was like, well, this like is it's grown on me more. I've definitely put it up more on the list than what I had it before. I will say, um, it does fit the brief of the H2O. Like you can see the water, you can see everything. So I think that's something really important to remember here. She looks beautiful. Her hair is beautiful. She looks beat for the gods. The one thing I will say though is I kind of got this like, and don't get me wrong, like until I was told she was like the drag daughter, I didn't know she was like related. But I kind of got this like Sonique meets Kimura kind of vibe off of her, but very weirdly enough, almost like Jujubee as well, where I just think she's going to be so lovable, yet like fighting the whole time. I can definitely see her making it to the top. I have a lot of respect for what she's saying. I think she has a great story because she's right. The New York Queens generally get a lot of love. There are, and it's no hate to the New York Queens. They're just a lot of New York Queens because look at like New York. I mean, there's so many people there. So like, there's so much life there. So I mean, it makes sense. I just hope that she is really able to prove her point and to really prove like, hey, I'm someone different. I stand out from the crowd. I want to see her prove that. I think she has what it takes. And I think you're right. Her composure is greater than what I think maybe her drag mother had at the beginning of the show. So I'm wondering if maybe she'll be able to really like harness that and go further.
She's really giving me a very strong competitor here. Like a lot of them are coming off strong competitors, but I don't know why. But I keep always coming back to like whenever I make my list here, Crystal always seems to be in that top group there. So we'll definitely see if she's able to set up to our high expectations here. So let's go and move on to our next queen here, Miss Hormona Lisa. She's 30 years old from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and she describes herself as a little wackadoodle. And I'm a little worried about that because last time I heard that, we had Q from Survivor 46, and I'm not ready to buy a Hormona Lisa skirt. Oh. She does say that she's the best queen from Chattanooga. She's very influenced by old Hollywood glamour and Disney princesses, prefers ballads with animal sounds, and has multiple degrees despite having ADHD tendencies. And then all of a sudden, her interview runs off into God knows where, and I couldn't tell if that was like a good thing because we've seen like that in the past where some of these Meet the Queen videos, like they just let them kind of do whatever the fuck they want to do, talking about you, damn Parashian, in Espana for like what the hell was your Meet the Queen video? That's kind of what hers kind of turned out to in the end, but like it was on track there for a little bit. Um, as far as the promo goes, I was a little taken off when she initially came out on the runway in the video and she was just wearing like the bodysuit and I was like but like the promo bit I was like where's this outfit. And then she ended up wearing the actual look in the I don't know where that would even take off on this, like where does she even split it apart to make that bodysuit? Like I'm very concerned. Did she just wear a completely different outfit? I feel like she just wore a completely different outfit.
It might
I
have
don't
been
know.
just the hips. I could see that pull down.
Okay, I guess I could kind of see it. Like if I'm really looking at the hips, I guess I could see it there, but
Or like
it's
down
probably
the
touched out.
stomach.
Probably touched out. They
Yeah.
probably retouched it so you can't see it. So um, that would make sense. But I mean, the full look of it, really cool. Actually, it makes me kind of very excited for her looks because yeah, she does give a lot of old school Hollywood glamour, and whatnot. It is a little wanting a little bit like maybe a little bit more personal touch to it. But this is just a promo look, so it's perfectly safe as far as I'm concerned here. Definitely not the best, not the worst, but I don't think Harmona is probably going to be one of our fashion queens, so I don't necessarily think we're gonna get her talent based off of what she brings to the runway 100%. So um, I'm still excited for her. She's not in my top four, but she could possibly be a strong contender that we just don't see coming. I kind of need to see a little bit more from her here. What was your first impressions here of Miss Hormona Lisa?
I think we've kind of got the same thing. Originally, just on the look, I was blown away because her body looks so good. I'm looking at the whole thing. I'm not just looking at the. I'm not looking at the bodysuit. Like I'm looking at the like pink robe slash cape thing she has, the clear umbrella, all of the beading just perfectly placed, and the hourglass shape and the pink hair. It just really brings it all together. Even the jewelry is beautiful. I mean, nothing about this is anything less than eleganza kind of thing. The full picture, I should say. Um, she she originally was one of my higher queens, but then when I got to her Meet the Queens, I was a little taken aback. I got very much like the pageant-y Eureka Trinity Taylor kind of thing going on, very southern, very fun. Could definitely be like someone who goes further in the season. It's just I didn't get the initial like charisma that I think we are typically used to with a lot of them. Not any disrespect or hate to her. I was like, is this gonna be enough? Is she really going to be that queen? And I just didn't see the spark that I normally see when I see like a charisma queen. But who knows? Maybe it's very different on the show. I think she could definitely make her way far in the show, but I could see her going like seventh or sixth place kind of thing, possibly even like a third boot. depending on like what she shows and how willing she is to try things. Um, but that being said, love her look, liked her to some extent, just wasn't like in my top four or anything like that.
Bring up a good point because she did seem a little subdued to meet the queens for someone that would kind of, that we would expect her kind of archetype of queen to come from. So I do kind of, I get your vibes there. So I'm actually now I'm a little more worried that like, is the subduedness just because it's just like, I'm an early out, so whatever. Like, let me just get through the interview. Who
I
knows?
mean, it's definitely possible.
Who knows? Like, I mean, it could just be her personality. She could just have like a subdued kind of charm to her. But we'll find out. We'll interested to get more from what she's gonna bring here. So let's go on to our next queen here. Another one of our drag daughters, or should I say, uh, grand drag daughter, or drag granddaughter, whatever the fuck you want to call that, of Miss Trinity the Tuck, and she's not the only Trinity the Tuck that we relative that we get this season here, and that's Miss Jewel Sparkles. She is 23 from Tampa, Florida, and she's of descent. I think she said she's Cuban and Puerto Rican, and she wants to be the first Puerto Rican queen to ever win the show. So that's a really cool place to start here and a good story for her already. She started as an Instagram model, and then she kind of used blah blah blah. Where am I going with that? Oh, I got way lost up in my notes here. Because I started jumping around because she was kind of jumping around a little bit in her thing. I put here that she started in Instagram and then called her insurance after the show, and I was like, oh wait a minute, what did I mean by that? No, she says that the way that she performs and because she grew up in the Tampa scene, she believes that you should always be calling your insurance after the show, and if you are not, then you are not a good performer. So I'm very kind of excited to see what she's about to bring to the stage. There's a lot of girls that are popping out here with some Maya Mon page energy here. She seems very competitive, but she says she's a good time girl, and I think I agree with her when she says that she isn't calculated enough to be a bitch. Yeah, I don't see that. I think if she is bitchy, it's probably unintentional. But she did randomly used to do competitive pantomiming and eating, which how do you even get into the first one? And her being a competitive eater, what? Where are you even putting it, girl? Because just like your promo look, like you are tiny, you are literally wearing nothing. She calls herself a Polly Pocket that can't find her clothes, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here, honestly, in this promo look is like water pocket potty that is made for like 17-year-old girls. Like she had her Britney Spears era, and she's a slave for you now, and she's no longer a girl, not just a woman, but she's Jewel Sparkles. I mean, I don't hate the look. I think it is a little bit on the simple side. This would be something that I feel like you would see maybe like I don't know. It's like it feels kind of like maybe that she literally just stuck this fabric onto the back of one of her dancing corsets and decided to use it for her promo. I don't know. It's a little too simple. I will say I really do like the crown. I do think that's really cool. Um, I think that's probably where my desire for this promo look is here. It's probably a little bit on the weaker end, so I'm really hoping that she'll bring some fashions this season. I mean, she's the daughter of the Tuck Dynasty, so hopefully it'll be there somewhere. But they also like to be naked in the Tuck Dynasty, so we'll see. We'll see if she gets that same combo that Trinity the Tuck had here. Um, Jack, what are your thoughts here on Miss Jules Sparkles?
Honestly, Jewel Sparkles didn't do much for me. I saw the charisma to some extent. She really gave me like Georges meets Carrie Colby in that like not necessarily all there at all the time kind of vibe, but also very pretty. I could see her being really liked because of the charisma of that, but her look was so bad for me. Like I thought it was like put together last second. I don't think she really tried or put any effort in there. If I, I mean, there's nothing really to say other than like here she is. You're right. The hair is good. The headpiece is great. The makeup's on point. So everything above the neck is great. Um, I didn't get much from her other than like maybe a first or second boot, honestly. I just thought that she's gonna get eaten up by this competition. I mean, a good tuck can only take you so far. Sorry, Trinity.
She's definitely given me, yeah, I think I put her on like my bottom four possible, was like possible for second boots here. So a little worried for Miss Jules, but like I said, like with Arrietty, please, we live to be said that we're wrong, even though we're never wrong. But here, as Jack said about
We
her
never
promo look,
have.
here she is, Miss Jules Sparkles.
The jewels
Another
do sparkle,
queen.
that's all.
She is literally the jewels that sparkles. We love a straightforward queen girl. Um, Another queen that I'm a little bit on the I need to see them in action, because I wasn't sure where their Meet the Queens was going here, and that's our next queen, Joella. She's 25 from Los Angeles, California, and she says she's real, but she's also a fake bitch who's afraid of spiders. She's into classic drag with a modern twist, and she found her confidence after doing drag and got hooked after the Tati versus Alyssa lip sync. So at least she has good inspiration for there. She kind of seemed though for me that she was more excited just to be on the show to say her haters like, oh yeah, I got on the show versus her actually like winning the crown though, because like I said, she was talking a lot about her haters in this Meet the Queen video, and I really didn't get much else from that. And as far as promo look, I will be very honest. This is my least favorite out of all of them. Nothing in this is working for me really at all. It's just, I don't know. I don't get the concept. The bodysuit is not really that nice to look at. I kind of get what she was maybe going for with like trying to outline it with like the light blue on like the cuffs, but I don't get why it's in all these other random spots on the suit. And then it also looks like the top is like she's wearing like a tank top or like a tube top or something, and like it's on top of the bodysuit, and that's I don't know. It's just I don't like it. I don't like this Jack. Um, I'm trying to find something nice to say. Um, she seems nice, but yeah, I honestly, if I was to pick a first boot, I'm gonna say it's Joella. I'm sorry, Joella. I'm so sorry. Um, but I'm not sorry. Jack, what were your thoughts on Joella?
So, Joella, the look doesn't work in the slightest. Maybe the one of the first and only times I'll ever say this, the hair is too big for this look. Um, but the look is so bad that you might as well keep the hair and get rid of the look because it's garbage, mama. This is garbage. This is like I had to make something out of the materials in the workroom for the like weird design challenge. Which don't get me wrong, I love that challenge, but this this is garbage, mama. Like whatever you paid for this, get your money back. If you made it, get your money from the sewing lessons back. Uh,
It's
get
giving
your
like
fashion
Jiggly
queen money
Caliente, but
back.
make it like a raincoat, right?
Yeah,
Post-apocalyptic,
no, because like
post-apocalyptic rainstorm.
so I don't agree with that only because I think there was an actual idea here as opposed to just throwing everything on. I
What
just
was
think
the
the idea
idea?
sucked. I think like you mentioned, I think it was like the water coming off of her, like the whitish, light bluish like material coming off of her was like the water dripping away from her, but I just think it's bad. I do like the glamour of the like um pageant drag queen scene that you can see in her, the big hair, the jewelry, the stoning. I like the elements of that kind of thing, but with this outfit, again, that hair is awful. And I just don't think that her face, the way it's painted there, can really work that hair in this picture. I mean, I didn't even like it on the runway either when I was watching it. I was like, I need you to fix something, girl. Now, again, I think a lot of people have this feeling about Joella. She kind of reminds me of like a younger like Delta personality kind of thing with like maybe kimchi kind of um vibes for some reason, like without the fashion. Take that as you will. It's really kind of, I know that sounds kind of mean, but I liked her personality a lot. I really did. I was really drawn to her at one point. I was like, you know what, Joella, maybe you have a bad promo look. Maybe you don't know what's bad, and that's okay. I mean, we've seen people win this show who can't style a look to save their life. So like maybe it'll be fine. But I don't see it going well for her. I could see her going further than first, but I could also see her getting the first boot, like penetration kind of thing. Like, it's just I don't know what she's gonna bring this season. I have a big question mark for Joella. She's nowhere near the top. But she could be literally like any placement at this rate. Like maybe she's really funny. Maybe she's like actually able to like use her charm and personality because I did get more personality from her than a lot of other queens. But honestly, I was just like, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll give her the like maybe, but nothing stood out, and I was like, oh, this is great. Especially not the outfit. I was like, holy shit, this is terrible.
Yeah, I guess we will see for Joella. But speaking of big personalities, our next queen, I think, was someone that instantly, actually, our next couple, are ones that I'm instantly like very intrigued with, very, very excited to see how they are going to do. Especially because like in the promo, like this one was, it felt like she was everything that was happening was something crazy, and she had some sort of reaction to it, and that's Miss Kori King, from Boston, Massachusetts, originally from St. Lucia. At this point in time, I cannot find her age on the internet though, so who knows how old the fuck she is. She, according to her Wikipedia page, though, she's worked with Kesha. She was named Boston's next new performer to watch in 2023. She used to be an animator before drag, and now she just wants to look like a walking hourglass. And she says that she cannot argue with ugly bitches because she feels more sorry for them. Um, the reading feels like it's correct. She
Well,
was doing a lot of reading, and it felt like it was not only accurate, but like it felt right, especially when we realized that her drag sister is the one and only Plain Jane. So I'm like, okay, bitch, Kori is going to be a star. Cannot wait to see Kori. Especially because her take on this promo look was really, really cool. Like she just went in like a more of like do a shiny fashion or shiny fabric, but make it, look wet. And I think she definitely accomplished the brief in a way that none of the other girls kind of did, without just being like a walking raindrop. And like she's not even really like blue either. Like she's literally wearing like gray. Um, but the way that the fabric looks, and just the way like you could see it, you just catching light in the photo, and then seeing it moving on the runway, this is such a really cool outfit, and just you could tell. I love the one thing I really like about it, even though it is really simple, the shape of her body is so snatched. Ugh, this is the drag I live for. This is what I love. I'm so excited to see Kori. Kori could possibly be one of my winner picks at this moment, if I dare say so. Um, Jack, did you get the same kind of vibes from Kori?
oh, definitely. The moment that she came on, I was like, she reminds me of Plain Jane. Kind of got the attitude of Priyanka in there. I was really feeling this. I was like, this is fun. This is festive. This is kind of like drag me in love. Obviously, I'm a huge Plain fan. I'll probably be a huge Kori fan. I'm assuming based on the show, like what we've seen so far. I loved her personality. She could light up the whole room. If you want to talk about charisma, Kori's got it. If you want to talk about nerve, she's got it. It based on her runway and in her interview, I'm going to give her that she has the talent and the uniqueness we need. So I could definitely see a crown it kind of moment already. I mean, and she has the relation to another drag queen who did extremely well, being in the finale in the top three. So I mean, it's a 1000% possible. I loved her outfit. Like I know it's simple, but just the way that every single piece of this is like the same fabric that just looks so flowy, like water. It looks like you just some water came out of the faucet and it's just extremely glossy, or someone threw a pebble in a pond and it's just glossed over perfectly, catching the rays of sunlight, and you see like the little waves it makes. It's beautiful. I love her hair not getting in the way. It's big enough. It fits the like what it's trying to do. It doesn't get in the way of this shoulder moment happening. All in all, love this. Can't say anything bad about it. I know people probably aren't going to be happy that I rated it so high, but I think this outfit is beautiful. And I cannot wait to see what Kori brings. Definitely in my top four, and definitely possibly just my winner pick overall.
Glad we're on the same page there, Jack. Another queen that I'm very, very, very excited to see here. And she's been all over the Twitter and the blue sky with her goldfish high heels, which that's for another day, girl. But we have Lana Ja'Rae. She's 22 years old from New York, New York, daughter of Lux Nor London, which again, how is Lux having drag children? Like she's like 5 years old herself. Like, eh, how is she already having kids? I'm questioning that. But if she's anywhere near Lux's caliber here, which I can already feel that they kind of run like they're cut from the same cloth here. uh, I'm very excited for Lana. Her name is a play on lingerie, even though it incorporates her real name, and she considers herself very femme and womanlike, and is more of a supermodel of royalties as far as her drag goes. And she says that she didn't have a glow up until she was older, so she had to be the class clown. So she's secretly funny, and she wants the queens to underestimate her, but she seems like she could definitely be the lip sync assassin of this season. And as far as this promo goes, oh my god. Oh my god. Um, this is definitely one of my favorite promo looks this season, without a doubt. She just looks so good. I love the fabric choices that she chose with it, the colors, just the everything just looks so good. And just the way it moves is another thing too. Like you could tell that she is a queen that kind of thinks about how her outfits are going to really work in the performance. I think that she definitely has a lot of lux in her when it comes to like the professionalism and just the overall desire to do drag and the love up for it. You could definitely get a lot of that from Lana. I'm just very excited for her. She's seems like she's going to be such a good performer, and I've been kind of going back and forth with it. I've been kind of going back and forth between Lana and Crystal for my fourth spot. But I think I'm gonna give it to Lana. I think I'm putting Lana in my top four. Jack, what are your thoughts here of Lana?
I like her look a lot. I think I see this water nymph, water fairy thing. I think it's cute. Love the nails, love the headpiece, love the slick back hair. Um, I did want a little bit more um from the bottom section. Don't get me wrong, it is just it looks beautiful. It's just a little bit um what's the word? Like bodysuitish.
Hmm.
And you know what, that's totally fine. She fits the brief completely. It's not my favorite look of them all. Like I told you, Acacia was my favorite, but like, I mean Acacia. Sorry, oh my gosh, not Acacia. Oops. Um,
Gonna take a hot
but
minute to get these names down.
I enjoy this look. I liked her personality, and I picked up on the Lux really fast. Like I was like, oh, she's similar to Lux, but I also kind of felt like she might have like the performing kind of like Queen Kong almost, where I kind of just felt like she had this very strong energy, and I could see her being like very versatile in the way that she can perform. The only thing that I have to say is that I'm a little nervous for her. I can see this going one of two ways, and One of them is her like getting towards the end kind of thing, and the other could be something similar to like fall in the bottom a few too many times, or maybe like um just unfortunately ends up in the bottom at the wrong time against like the wrong person. Like let's say for example, since we were both on the same page with Kori King, like what if they're in the bottom together and Kori sends her home kind of thing. Like I could see it going into like an unfortunate early boot, kind of like a plasma situation where she's got some wins, but then she goes home mid season, so you're just like, whoa. So that's kind of what I'm worried about for her. But overall, enjoyed her look, enjoyed her on the Meet the Queens. Definitely got some charisma, some talent going on here. I'm excited to see where she goes. You know, she is a young queen as well, so lots of room to grow, lots of room for her to come back if things don't work out the way that she wants it to, just like Lux. Like, so we shall see how things go for her.
Yes, we'll see. Yes, we will see. Another queen that I really have some really high hopes for. I got so much good energy from her in her Maple Queens here, and that's Lexi Love. She's 34 from Louisville, Kentucky, and she says she has a Cherokee Indian background. She's a hardcore entertainer who wants to tell a story, wants to keep everyone guessing with what extra she has to show, and she just wants to be naked all the time, which I mean with the promo look. I mean, to literally come out basically the full Britney fantasy, but literally naked here, insane. I liked her when she said that in her Meet the Queens here that instead of being dead in the gutter, she's swimming like the mermaid right now, and I'm like, okay, this bitch, she's feeling good. Like she is feeling good. She's giving so much energy, so much just she's just everything that she said just felt like someone that is going to be a powerful force in this competition. And I mean, she's even I mean, is half as confident as she is with this promo look. Like she's gonna slay this shit. Like I couldn't help but I felt like out of all of the girls in the actual moving promo, just because the fact that like the way she did the makeup here with her face not being covered but the rest of her body is like she was popping so much on screen and she's beautiful, like she's gorgeous, like I'm very excited to see what she brings this season. um I'm gonna put Lexi in my top four as well too. I have really high hopes for Lexi. um she probably might end up being someone who might like get fifth or sixth or something, and maybe she's just proud that she goes super far. But I don't know. She's given me a lot of that confidence that Sasha Colby kind of gave me, and I'm ready to feel the love from Lexi. Did you get as much love for Lexi as I do?
I loved Lexi. I thought her Okay, so I thought her runway was like very interesting. I loved the hair. I thought it was so smart to go this white and blue like tie-dye striped head, like not headpiece, I'm sorry, wig. I was really loving it. I thought it was very brave and very interesting to go with just full-on glitter, and the fact that she used like RuPaul's glitter kind of thing. Like I was like, you better use Drag Race's glitter, bitch. Like don't pay for that shit. Make them do it for you kind of thing. But it's perfectly placed on there. I think, you know, she loves her body. Sh And then in her interview, she talked about her street smarts, and she really gave me like a mix between like Jasmine Kennedy and Aja. I could really see her knowing how to perform, how to use her body, like really stunning us, giving us like that amazing kind of like killer moves. I'm not sure if I'm just biased. I think a lot of me is just biased because I don't think that she's going to get to the top four, but I'm putting her in my top four because she's one of my faves that I encountered. So she's in my top four. You know,
Yes.
I was living for her. I know that her look wasn't like the best thing ever. It was a little above, just like middle of the pack, but a little above. And I was like, I'm fine. I like it a lot. Like I think it's great that she's so body positive. I know that as a bigger person myself, I know that it can be a lot easier for people who have a more petite body to feel body positive, but I think just any kind of positivity can be really beneficial. So I love this. I hope she has these continued innovative ideas. This was simple but super effective. I hope that we keep seeing that from her. These like street smarts she's talking about. Hopefully that's what we're getting.
Yeah, she definitely gave me just a hustler. Like, I think she's here to work. I think she's gonna work, bitch. But I guess we'll find out. Our next queen here, Lucky Starzzz, 26 years old from Miami, Florida, our what second Miami queen right now here. She's into some crazy shit, apparently. And she said she might actually make an outfit out of some someday. Um, if it's anything like the outfit she's wearing right now, I'm kind of intrigued. Brown Town 2.0 runway. Did I hear? And
Yeah, not
anyway,
gonna work.
she's originally from Havana, Cuba. Says she's obsessed with space and stars and vintage cartoons, and added the Z's because she's tired. And I could relate to that. I might actually change my name to Renegades because I'm tired all the time. Um, she said she breaks all the rules in Miami because she's a little bit more colorful and crafty and conventional with a little bit more extra, and she loves to shock people. And it seems like she's gonna get along with Arrietty. I don't know why she gave me that vibe. Like she literally felt like maybe Arrietty's like more reserved like sister. Oh no. They gave me a lot of very similar vibes, but something about Lucky though feels like maybe she's a little bit more in tune with herself and a little bit more confident in a lot of her skills than I think that I was getting from Ariadne. I think a lot of the confidence that I wanted Ariadne to give me, Lucky gave me. But I'm still just not completely convinced at the moment that uh, Lucky will be an endgamer. I could definitely see it since we do like to generally have, at least one queen who gives an alternative aesthetic go pretty deep in the competition. And I mean, this promo look she's giving though is definitely one of my favorites. It's just very ornate. It's very simple. Like the fact that it's literally just a bunch of fans, but like the way they're placed, the way that the pearls are on it, and the ombre effect as well too. Really pretty. Like this, the whites, the blues, pinks, something like very outer space influenced with it too that you could kind of see. I definitely see a lot of similar, like I said, aesthetic choices that Arrietty kind of makes, but it feels like Lucky seems like a little bit more conceptually there. So I do think between the two, she'll probably go a little bit deeper. I don't know if I could put her as an endgamer just yet, but I kind of want to see her in action first before I completely make a judgment call there on Lucky Stars. But I'm very excited if this is her promo look, what she's gonna possibly bring to the runway this season. Jack, what are your thoughts here on Lucky Stars?
I really loved her look. I do have to say though, there was one thing for me. Um, Details do matter, and when she turned around and it was very different on the other side, it's like it wasn't taken into consideration. I was nervous because those kind of like details and those small things like that, like when you turn around and the look isn't very similar to how it was on the front side. Those things matter. They do matter a lot, especially when it comes to Drag Race. But this was so fun. This is the other version of like water nymph fairy kind of thing, like almost axolotl looking. I wasn't so sure on the fit of the pearl headpiece part, but that was like another small detail thing. It looks great. It's beautiful. I really enjoyed this look. I think it's almost like stars exploding on the fans on like the little oysters kind of thing. It's very beautiful. You're right. It was kind of like simple yet complex at the same time. I love that she's holding these huge hips and holding these uh like strands of pearl. It really gives the that kind of effect that we're looking for. One thing I will say though, in her interview, I wasn't getting much like I make it to the end. I could see her being like a hiding closet, kind of like sixth placer or something. So, like she gets some love, she does well. She just doesn't have everything it takes to go all the way to the end. Her style was really giving me like Rock'em Sakura mixed with like Vixen's creativity and like Mirage's kind of personality all bound together. And I thought that was like a really interesting, like fun thing. But I could also see it like similar where all these queens are really liked by the fans. They just don't get to go as far as people want them to. So I was those are the kind of vibes I was getting from her altogether. But I am excited to see what she does. I hope um if this is any like piece of like what we're gonna get from her on the runway, I'm super excited. You know, I love runways and uh this was fun to look at. This was just such a different take compared to so many other girls.
Very excited to kind of see what sort of flavor she brings here. 'Cause she's definitely someone who's bringing something different to the competition that everybody else is as well too. So I definitely agree. She definitely is in a place here where if she performs well, I think she could definitely go far. But we'll kind of see how things end up here for Lucky Stars is to see how lucky she ends up being. Let's go ahead and move on to our next queen here. I think we still have four more left. But our 11th queen, Miss Lydia B Kollins, and what that B actually means was not expecting that. Um, and I get why they decided to just call her Lydia B Kollins. Um, she went to film school, and after starting drag in 2016, she became very influenced by that. And she says her adjectives include irreverence, art, alternative, gothy, grungy. Says she's very humble, but is actually very CUNT, and she feels like people write her off, but she's actually a threat. But she also has a god complex as well, so sounds like she could be our Jan because she says that she wants to win everything, and it seems like she's definitely bringing a little bit of the that kind of a little bit of the competitive energy. We'll say that. Well, the competitive energy. I'm not going to say the stank ass energy because she wasn't giving stank ass just yet. But that could quickly turn into that if she ends up getting you know denied for wins that she thinks that she should be deserving. So I think Lydia could possibly be like that. Definitely someone who's going to bring some drama. As far as the look goes, though, I don't hate it, but I'll be honest, uh, it wasn't like a huge fan of it. Like it's I don't know. Like I'm it's nice. I think I was just expecting more from it. Like we've seen a lot of these details with the little droplets on the clothing to try to attempt to make it look more wet than it really is, and that's kind of really what this kind of feels like she did here. Is that she just took a blue outfit and then put some little crystals on it to make it look like it was raining, and I'm like, eh. I also don't really know if I like the Queen Kong uh, face piece or whatever the chin strap going on is. Um, but I mean, there's still elements to this I like. I like the. I mean, you could tell that she's definitely like a punky, grungy queen. So I do kind of like the fact that she is going a little bit more in that direction. That's something I don't think a lot of the other girls are doing. So I think that stands out for her. But I mean, I'd just say kind of middle of the road as far as the promo look goes. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, but I think personality wise, I think she could possibly be someone that is going to make sure she's remembered regardless how long she is there for. Uh, I don't know if I get winner from her 100%. I also don't know if I get top four from her, but maybe like a fifth, sixth, seventh place. Someone who's there for like maybe half the season. Uh, I don't know. What were your vibes here on Miss Lydia B. Collins, Jack?
I didn't get too much from her. I wasn't really impressed too much. I'm no hate to her. I loved her shoes. Um, but the outfit just didn't really scream H2 oh my god to me. I just thought it was like, I'm gonna serve you a cunty outfit. And I was like, yeah, I like love that, whatever. The hair, the face, I was like, this is giving me like Aquaria. It's she kind of reminds me of Adore a little bit, maybe that Sharon Alaska kind of thing, just Alien Queen vibes I was getting. I was like, I'm not really impressed. She's gonna tell us about her being a fashion queen. It might just be her being skinny. Like, I don't know. We'll see what goes on. Like, and it's not to say that her outfit's bad because it is fashionable. I do like it. Um, I think a lot of it is due to her size and because of personality, but I just wasn't feeling much from her. I just think she's a bit of a I don't want to call her a filler queen, but she didn't give me anything that made me think she'd be there very long.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I guess I could agree with that. I mean, I was kind of saying the same thing. We'll kind of wait to see how impressions change though once the season actually starts, because who knows? But yeah, that's Lydia B Kollins. Our next queen here, Onya Nurve, love that name. From she's 31 from Cleveland, Ohio, and considers herself the Andy Warhol of the drag race scene. I think that's what she officially settled on after going through like 80 different artists and whatnot. Um, she considers herself a mug queen, one of a handful of black performers in Ohio, and really offers a lot of drama, theater, art with black glamour, and gives auntie slash mothery vibes. Uh, One thing I did not like when she said, though, she said she hated video games and she insulted Animal Crossing players everywhere. Granted, I don't play Animal Crossing, so I kind of agree with her there. But
Ooh,
how dare you
you
hate
calm down that one.
video games, Anya? How dare you? How dare you? She said it, not me. I said, I liked her energy. She seems very mature, very well spoken. Uh, just she feels like I feel like you don't see too many drag queens with their heads together. you know, in that kind of way to the point where like I could definitely see her kind of being maybe like someone who ends up being like a Miss Congeniality role model from this group, like for sure. Like if anybody gets into a fight, she feels like she's going to be the person that's going to be like, okay, now children, calm down and go to the corner. And like I just I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see how her personality is, how the synergy goes with the other queens, because like a lot of the other girls are trying to give like very hard like biatch energy, and here she comes in trying to like be the mother. I'm interested to see how that will roll. Um, but the one thing I'd say is I don't like her look. It's giving me like professional wrestler, but on their way to a show in the rainstorm. Like, there's a lot of different things that are happening here, and I don't know if I like them all together. Like, I think I might like them individually in certain areas, but I don't think it's one of my favorite looks. I don't like it. I do like the mohawk. I will say that. And yeah, That's 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 my thoughts on Anya. What are your thoughts here on Anya, Jack? Sure.
So she's perfectly named because I hated that she said that thing about video games. I was like, okay, that like full stop. Like, I'm gonna need you to calm down, sis. Like, we're in the digital age kind of thing. I'm gonna need you to like get it together. And the attack on Animal Crossings of all things, or like is essentially attack on like the cozy gamers of all things. Like, girl, bye. Like, okay. But before all of that, I liked her mohawk. I like the ponytail thing. Um, I like the idea here. I wasn't really giving this H2O fantasy. It was definitely low on my list. It wasn't giving much. I got this mature in the sense of like maybe a little bit older school kind of queen, like Kennedy Davenport. Kind of like her body looks right. Um, Vivacious, kind of like giving us a history lesson on where drag comes from, and like uh, could give us some like kind of club kid kind of feel. Like that's what the mohawk plus the ponytail kind of gave me. I was like, oh, I really enjoy this. But overall, I don't see her going far. I didn't get much like star potential from it. If anything, I kind of felt like maybe she was a little bitter at times. I was like, it's like I just wasn't given getting much from her personally. I think that Onion Nerve is kind of like what she gave me was like a Timu version of uh Saphira from last season, and so I was kind of like,
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
just need to put that back. I'm gonna need to put this back on the shelf. I'm gonna need to get a refund, baby. Like, if I gotta go to Kohl's like I do for my Amazon purchases, just let me know. Like, I don't know. And that's not to say that Timu can't have good things. I'm just saying that like this one wasn't one of them. This is one of those. Here's the dress, and when it shows up, it's the size of a doll dress kind of thing. So be careful, ladies. Make sure you know what you're getting. Um, for her, we'll see what she's got. I can't imagine her doing very well though. She's definitely not in my top four people. I just don't see it happening for her. Sorry, not sorry.
You
Next.
straight up said that we don't need Anya Nerve. We have Saphira at home.
No, I did not. No, I did not. Because that's disrespectful for the Severa, and your old person is showing through. Because like, Anya Nerve would be the one we have at home, and we wanted to get Severa out there.
Whatever.
Like
Don't-
Anya Nerve is the one who like we have at home when Mom says we got
Ageist.
Severa at home, and we're like, "Oh,
Your
God, no,
ageism is
please
showing
don't."
again, Jack. How dare you?
Ageism, girl, your ageism is showing. Your age is showing.
The hate, the hatefulness, the bull, the gumption, whatever the rest of that quote was. Okay, my old person is because my memory is gone. Um,
Yeah,
okay, but yeah, I do kind of agree. Yeah, she is kind of giving me. She was one of those four that I kind of put on my early out list. I definitely don't know if she's going to be there too long, but we'll see. I will gladly eat my words as I do here on our channel, and staying as stunningly slim as I do because I don't eat my words that much. Oh, wow, amazing.
it's just that your thoughts have no meaning behind them, so they're so small and insignificant when you eat them.
Wow. The
I bet
calories, though,
it.
the calories, they're fattening. Wow.
She's in a
Anyway,
deficit,
y'all,
baby.
let's go ahead and get on to our next queen before Jack just insults me for the rest of the podcast. Library is not open. But let's go ahead and talk about Queen number 13, a queen that I'm very, very excited to see. Definitely, there was a little bit of a slog in the middle of the Meet the Queens there. But when Sam Starr, 24, from Birmingham, Alabama, popped on the screen, immediately changed the energy in the whole video. Her name was given to her by her drag mother, the other drag daughter of Twinnie the Chuck. Sorry, the other one is Jewel Sparkles is a granddaughter. She's the actual daughter. That's when I'm like, okay, so she's actual like actual spawn. Like she's not the spawn of the spawn. So she's like a literal spawn. So
That
it
makes a lot of sense.
automatically, I mean, it does, right? Like, I mean, it makes the fact that Sam is
I
actually
saw Jules'
chosen from
outfit and I saw
Trinity.
Sam's.
So it's like, yeah, they're very. Honestly, though, it looks like Sam made her outfit and then gave Jules the scraps. Because like Sam's
Girl, Jules is
outfit,
lucky.
oh my God, Sam's outfit is so good. But first, let's talk about her really quick because she says she's inspired by old school drag. She loves people and loves to socialize. So she thinks that she probably won't get into it with the girls. But then again, she said that she did talk to her sister for a week because she beat her at Monopoly. So I'm like, hold up, those aren't matching. Which is it? But she says she has a quick wit and a fierce tongue. She's very inspired by Alyssa Edwards, which I totally see. She's definitely giving young Alyssa Edwards vibes. The house down, boots, Mama Yes God. Like she's apparently a singer, a dancer, an actor. She's someone that I have very, very high hopes for in the season. Like I'm getting really everything I need from Sam here. She's like much like I feel like Kori and Lexi. She feels like a very, very complete performer already, even though she's only 24. She kind of feels like she kind of has her shit together already, and like this look, oh my God, by far my favorite promo look out of all of them. Just the attention to detail on this look, like everywhere you look, there's just something to look at. There's amazing detail. The fabric is just so cool. The way that it moves, the bubbles, the hair. Oh my God. I love this. I love this look. And I love the fact that she didn't go like blue, that she went with like the silver, and it still is giving like not only ocean but like ethereal pageant goddess too. Like I'm just I'm in love with this look. Sam could possibly be one of my new favorites from this class. Like, there's a lot of people that have so much potential here, and I feel like Sam is definitely one of them. Without a doubt, my last top four pick that I'm picking for sure. Lock it in. Jack, what's your thoughts?
Sam is a star. And funny enough, when you brought up the we've got Sophia Crystal at home kind of thing, I'm gonna say something so disrespectful to Sam. I'm so sorry about this, Sam. But you look like the girl that we're trying to get, and mom says we've got Sam Star at home, and Sam Star at home is Elliot with two T's.
Oh no,
Like
that's horrible. That was the most
heartbreaking.
disrespectful thing you've ever said on this podcast. You said some very disrespectful things to me too, just
I
in this
have
very episode.
I've never been disrespectful to you. I've just been honest. Now,
I
if you
haven't
think
been
that's
disrespectful in
disrespect,
years.
it's more disrespectful to not tell you the truth. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so Sam Star, beautiful outfit, loving all of the curves and the little like swooshes in the fabric to really make it look like it's wet, it's water kind of thing. I love the bubble placement. I generally don't like. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of like skin colored like corsets or pieces, but this just seems to work with this. I love the hair. And you can really see I come from like a serious drag family as like the daughter of Trinity. I can see this. When you were saying that thing about Jules, I was like, I thought if these two were both daughters, clearly Jules is not the favorite. Uh, I was like, damn, Judy left Jules at the garage, girl. Which, like, bitch, same, but like, so Sam is really giving me a lot. I could see her as a kind of villain at it. I don't mind that. She was really giving me like Sonique plus Morgan McMichael's kind of vibes. Like, I felt like she seemed really wise to an extent, but she has a mouth on her and she's gonna stand up for herself, and I really appreciate that. I love a girl who's got a lot of sass. I love a girl who's got a lot of shit to say. Um, so I'm not mad at that at all. Not mad at all. Love that. Um, so overall, 10 cents, 10s across the board for this look. Really love her personality. Can see her in the top four. Definitely think she deserves top four. Easy.
We'll see how much of a star Sam is when the show starts. But, we still got one more queen left. And even though she's not someone that I have pegged for top four just yet, I do know she is a big fan favorite here, and that is Miss Suzie Toot. She's 24 years old from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and she thinks she's going to be very underestimated this season, and every girl is going to try her. And that was literally like the theme of this Meet the Queens, and she literally encompassed it all in one sentence. um, she's also a Broadway queen, part performance art, part cabaret diva is what she calls herself. She was giving me a little Thorgy Thor energy, though. I don't know why. But she's very inspired by Betty Boop and women of the 1920s. She really likes Halloween music as well, too. But apparently is very nervous about a potential design challenge. So I'm like, girl, are you telling us that you're about to go the way of Plasma here? Are you about to get eliminated in the design challenge? Because that seems to be the energy that you're giving here. But as far as look go, I don't hate the look here. She's definitely giving cabaret, house down. I actually really like the fish scales that she decided to put on the bodice. I think that's really cool. Like the details on the actual outfit are really nice. Shoes are cool. Shoes are nice. I feel like it's maybe a little simple for me compared to what some of the other girls did. And again, it literally is just again a situation where let's just put some diamonds on it and call it raindrops. So I was a little over that aesthetic portion choice that all the girls decided to do, but overall, I thought Susie had a very strong look. I think she's in probably my upper half, or actually no, I actually have her in the middle just because there's so many other ones. So I'm just like, I think I have her seventh right now. But who knows what's going to happen when we actually make the rankings and do that a little bit later here today. But, overall, I think Susie has potential. I feel like she might be, like I said, I get Thorgy Thor energy from her, and I don't know why, but she's just giving me someone that is probably going to be eliminated at some point for maybe like the first time she's in the bottom, and everybody is going to riot on Twitter and say Susie Toot was robbed. I kind of get that energy, but yeah, we'll kind of see. Jack, do you have any thoughts here on our last queen, Miss Susie Toot?
I got the idea of the outfit. I wasn't blown away by it. I agree. I love the fish scales. I thought that was a very fun detail. I think other girls could have used that and it would have been very fun. I love those kind of like almost like theater curtain kind of feel that it has to it on the top part. Those strands of different shades of blue and white. It's just very beautiful. Love the shoes. I love the shoes. Let me tell you, I love the shoes. But the fabric on the arms with this and everything, I was like, it's a little too much. There's a little too much clash, and it's kind of matching like the fabric at the bottom near the hips. And I was like, with that and the hat and the fringe and all the bracelets, I was like, we really need to like do something different here. It's just too much. It's too loud in the wrong ways. I love Fringe. I liked that moment of it. I just there needs to be some editing, so very Thorgy-esque as well. I really got like Jinx and Aiden Zane kind of vibes mixed together in Susie Toot. I know I don't like to. I'm not trying to like give everyone like they are this person, but it's just like it's a reference that everyone in the community can kind of understand where I'm coming from. But I liked her hair for this hat thing, but again, the hat and the outfit, like, there's just a lot going on here that I wasn't a huge fan of. Personally, she's a little below the bottom middle section area for me. Just because I just felt there was too much clashing going on, and I really didn't see the H2O of this. I did feel like it was just like an afterthought to put the fringe on the arms and the hat. It just felt like she wanted to wear a cabaret style outfit. um, you know, and that's fine. Some girls just want to do their style. I mean, go off if you do. I mean, who are we to say that like you shouldn't get this opportunity? Like maybe she goes home first and she wanted the opportunity to show a cabaret outfit and this was her choice. Like I
Maybe
don't
she's been
know. I'm
auditioning with this outfit since season one, and she just really wanted to wear the ostrich. I mean, the cabaret outfit. I'm sorry, that was canon. My bad.
yeah. And if she's been auditioning since season one, like god damn. Um,
When she
like
was 16, or no, 6.
I have no idea, but all I know is that it's not. I'm not giving it, but I could see people really loving her. I could see the judges really loving her. I don't want her in my top four, so she's not in my top four. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if she makes it that far, or like top six at least. Like, I could just see it, even if I'm not a fan. Not everyone's drag is for everyone. She's got
Mhm.
plenty of people who are already backing her up. So, it's not me trying to be mean. I just wasn't. She wasn't my cup of tea.
I
But
feel that.
I'm sure she's other people's. I know she's other people, so she will be fine. And good luck to her. Maybe she'll prove me wrong. Maybe I'll really enjoy her.
Right.
A first impression is a big deal, but you can always you could always be wrong. You could always get a different side of someone. So, it'll be interesting to see how this ends up. If things go the way I think it'll go, or if it's completely out the window, who knows?
Mhm. Well, Jack, we are at the end of our 14 queens, and we're almost at the 90-minute mark here. So let's go and finish up with the last, just quick recap of what our top four predictions were. My top four here again was Kori King, Lana Ja'Rae, Lexi Love, and Sam Star. Jack, what was your top four?
Um, uh, my top four have to be Sam Star, Lexi Love because I'm biased, Kori King, and I'm gonna say yeah, Acacia Forgot. So pretty similar top four, but I mean it's just this is based on the girls' looks especially, and then their interviews. I don't know that this is going to be it, but you know,
I mean, one way or another, guess we'll find out. And I mean, whether we're right or we're wrong, we're gonna enjoy it. I have a feeling this will be a very fun ride here. So, very very excited. Looking forward to Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Dear Lord, 2025. God. Um, I'm excited for Friday for 2 weeks from now. We'll say that. And as always, y'all, hopefully y'all can't wait to see how it turned out either, especially if you made it this far. Thank you guys so much for listening, and please like and subscribe because it lets us know you're enjoying the content. Be sure to catch all of our continuing coverage, including our Canada Drag Race 5 podcast, which we'll link in the footage below, and as well as next week's complete reviews on Drag Race España 4, Thailand 3, and Down Under 4, as all those three have just ended or are set to end this week. And we also have a bunch of end of the year 2024 videos heading your way as well. So until next time, and on behalf of my co-caster Jack, this is Renegade signing out. But remember, keep spilling that tea, y'all. Bye.
Bye.